In this video, we will learn about classes in C++. As you may have learned when programming in other languages, any programming language that has the concept of classes and objects is called an object-oriented programming language. A class is one of the user-defined types that we will learn about in this section. At the top of the code, we will include the string header file. To create a class, we start out by using the class keyword. Then comes the name of the class. For this example, we will create a class named person. Inside of the curly braces comes the variables for our class. We also refer to them as attributes. Our person class will have a public string attribute name and a public int attribute age. Public means that the other code in our program, outside of our class, can access and set these attributes. Now we have a person class with two attributes, name and age. We still need to actually create an object out of the class. An object is essentially an instance of the class, and classes serve as the blueprint for objects. Let's create a variable of type person named person1. We will assign it a name of Rob and an age of 27. Let's output the attributes of person1 to the console so that we can see that the object was correctly created and the values of its attributes correctly assigned. We will output the string person1 and then a new line, then the string name, the name of person1 and then a new line, and then the string age, person1's age, and then a new line. After that, we will output another new line to the console. When we run the code, notice that the attributes of person1 were successfully output to the console. Let's look at another example of creating a person object. We will create a variable of type person named person2. Next, we will assign person2 a name of Sally and an age of 25. Let's output the attributes of person2 to the console. When we run the code, notice that person2 has a name of Sally and an age of 25, just like we specified. In this video, we will learn about enumerations, also called enums. An enum is a type that is defined by the programmer. To create an enum, we can use the enum keyword. We will create an enum named season that we give 4 possible values: winter, spring, summer, and fall. Next, let's create a variable of type season named time of year. We can set time of year equal to summer. Then let's output time of year to the console. When we run the code, notice that 2 was output. This may seem surprising at first, however, remember that enum stands for enumeration. Each enum value that we create gets mapped to an integer value under the hood of the program. By default, it starts at 0, so for this example, winter corresponds to a value of 0, spring corresponds to a value of 1, summer corresponds to a value of 2, and fall corresponds to a value of 3. In the last section, we learned about conditional statements like if and switch. We can combine this concept with enums. For example, let's use an if statement that checks if time of year is equal to summer. If so, we will output time of year to the console. When we run the code, notice that it is summer was output since the value of time of year is summer from our season enum. If we want to change the integers that the enum values are mapped to, we can do so when creating the enum. For example, we could set winter equal to a value of 2, spring equal to a value of 4, summer equal to a value of 6, and fall equal to a value of 8. Let's look at another example of working with enums. We can create an enum named day that has the possible values Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We will create a variable of type day named weekday. Let's assign weekday a value of Friday. After that, we will utilize a switch statement that checks the value of weekday. In the case that weekday is Monday, we will output Monday to the console and then break from the switch statement. If it is Tuesday, we will output Tuesday to the console and then break from the switch statement. In the event that it is Wednesday, we will output Wednesday to the console and then break from the switch statement. If it is Thursday, we will output Thursday and then break. If it is Friday, we will output Friday to the console and then break out of the switch statement. In the case that weekday is Saturday, we will output Saturday to the console and then use the break keyword. If it is Sunday, we will output Sunday to the console and then break from the switch statement. When we run the code, notice that Friday was output to the console, since weekday is holding a value of Friday.